Okay, everyone. My name is Lacy Wood, and I'm the Dissemination Director for the REL Southwest, and we really want to thank you guys for joining us on this webinar. We apologize for these initial audio difficulties that we're having. I'm going to step in for my colleague, Brenda Arellano, while she's working out the audio, and hopefully we'll get her back pretty soon. So let me just go over what we're going to cover in the webinar today. This part here is the welcome event orientation and speaker introductions. And then we're going to have my colleagues Brenda Arellano and Stoker talk about the REL Southwest study on school climate. We will then have a presentation on how school climate and social emotional learning can improve student outcomes. We will then move to a discussion on district implementation of school climate and social emotional learning and what that looks like. And then that will lead us into a discussion we're going to have with our practitioner from Rio Rancho Public Schools, Suzanne, who's really going to talk about, what does this work look like in New Mexico, in Rio Rancho, and how are they implementing work and policies to address school climate, SEL, in their district. So here you can see our presenters, Brenda Arellano, who is a senior researcher with the REL Southwest, Ginger Stoker, also a senior researcher with the REL Southwest. We have Juliette Berg, who's going to present after that, Wehmah Jones, and then Suzanne Nguyen-Wisneski, the Executive Director of Federal Bilingual and Native American Programs from Rio Rancho Public Schools. Just to tell you a little bit about the REL Southwest, we work with state education agencies, districts, and other stakeholders, and we work to really meaningfully improve student outcomes. And we do this through collaborative research partnerships. These research partnerships are really designed to meet the needs, regional needs of our 5 states, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. And this particular work that we're going to talk about today is coming out of our Southwest English Learners Partnership out of New Mexico. So we're really excited to talk with you about that work and what it looks like. Today's goal for our participants is to learn how school climate and social emotional learning can support education transitions and student outcomes. So you're going to hear a little bit about research we've done, research from the field, and then how are people implementing this work, and how can school climate and SEL really support student transitions, different education transitions from elementary to middle, the transition from middle to high school specifically. And then really our outcomes for participants today are that you will be able to apply the findings that you'll learn about from our REL Southwest report and how that applies to transitioning students within their educational context. You'll be able to understand the importance of school climate and other non-cognitive factors such as SEL in supporting education transitions, and then be able to hear about examples of school and district policies and strategies concerning implementation of school climate and SEL. And you'll notice throughout the webinar we will be putting resources into the chat box that are aligned with the presentations. We also encourage you to put any questions for presenters in the chat box. We'll have 2 different times for different Q&A with the presenters, and so if you put your questions in the chat box, we will try our best to address them. And then a reminder that at the end, we will ask you to take a stakeholder feedback survey. We want to hear from you. We're always trying to make these webinars better. So anything that you guys can tell us to help us continue to improve and meet your needs, we really do appreciate that. And then as Caitlin mentioned earlier on, we have closed captioning by Caption First. That's in the pod area just below the slides, and you can kind of see how that works here.